What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at the Black Talon and specifically how this stacks up against the two new powerhouses that we have this season with swords, with the Fallen Guillotine and Temptation's Hook. So if you want to find out which sword is best for which situation, then be sure to stick around and check out the video. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now alongside the launch of Season of Arrivals, we got some fantastic new swords which changed the way that we play inside Destiny 2, and these were Temptation's Hook and the Fallen Guillotine, and some of these form key parts to our loadouts regardless of the activities that we're running. However, Black Talon as a result has fallen by the wayside, and this video today I'm going to take a closer look at it and see how this stacks up against them and when you may want to use this over them. So with that all being said, let's take a look at the Black Talon. So here it is, this is the exotic sword, the Black Talon. It has the intrinsic trait Crow's Wings, so it fires a heavy projectile attack, and heavy attacks are stronger with full energy. Attacks are also partially able to bypass elemental shields. Now the Black Talon really comes to life when you unlock its catalyst. When you fully upgrade it, it gives you an additional perk called Reversal, and this is where shots blocked immediately after guarding increase the damage of Crow's Wings for a very short duration. And this is a very powerful perk, and we'll take a closer look at this later in the video. Now in order to obtain Black Talon, it's only available from the world loot pool. There's no specific quest that you need to chase down in order to obtain it. It is a little bit down to RNG on whether an exotic could turn into one. Either that or Xur could bring it on the weekend. In terms of the catalyst though, this dropped for me randomly when it first became available as part of some Vanguard strikes. So again, once you randomly get the sword, you can hopefully randomly get the catalyst as well. But be sure to keep an eye on Xur's stock at least, so you can at least pick it up if you don't have it already. Now if you have the sword but haven't completed the catalyst, then as always jump into the Whisper mission as a fantastic way of quickly completing this catalyst to unlock Reversal as a key perk for this sword, which transforms the damage that this weapon can do. And we're going to jump into that now and break the damage numbers down. So to kick us off, we're going to jump over into the Lost Sector over on Titan. Now we're going to proc the perk called Reversal, which is going to boost our damage. And as you can see, it boosts it to 28,050, and we're able to get 2 throws off, resulting in 56,100 in damage. If we take a slower look at this, you have to be very quick, but you can get quick damage off in a short space of time. So not only is Reversal pretty much providing a 50% increase to our damage, we're able to deliver that in about 1 second. And overall that gives us a DPS of 55,445, whilst it's in a very short burst. It's a very high damage number indeed. So overall, looking at the Black Talon, it provides a consistent amount of continuous damage, anywhere between 37,214 as a base damage, all the way up to 56,100 if you can deflect damage before hitting your target. And as we said in the breakdown, it provides an excellent amount of burst DPS, which is fantastic for ultras and majors in pretty much all PvE content. Now with that being said though, how does this stack up against something else? Something like Temptation's Hook, for example. This is a brand new sword that was introduced this season. It's an entirely new frame called a caster frame. This allows you to launch a heavy projectile attack, and heavy attacks are stronger with full energy, and attacks partially bypass elemental shields as well. So pretty much identical to Crow's Wings for Black Talon. So in terms of perks on this one then, so we have Relentless Strikes, where landing 3 light attack hits within a short time grants sword ammo. Again, very similar to Black Talon. And the final perk we have here is Whirlwind Blade, so rapid sword strikes increase the weapon's damage for a short duration. Guarding also ends the effect. So we jump back into the Lost Sector then. So if we use the Whirlwind Blade and build this up on the Temptation's Hook, this is providing a 30% increase overall at 6 stacks per hit. And we've also stacked a boss spec on this sword as well, which is providing an additional 7% damage. So when you have full energy and release a heavy cast attack with Whirlwind times 5, you can deliver a total of 101,843 in damage, and that is over roughly 2.9 seconds. And that includes all 5 individual light attacks and the 1 single heavy attack. So if we take that number and break that down into our damage per second, that gives us a DPS on the Temptation's Hook of 35,118, and it takes nearly 3 times as long in order to reach it. So if you had to compare this to the Black Talon, which one would you use? Well, based on these numbers and how both of these weapons work in terms of providing a ranged element to their attack, I would always go with the Black Talon, especially if I had the Catalyst. But how did he stack up to the other sword that was introduced this season? You may have heard of it, and it's called the Falling Guillotine. Now, this is an entirely new frame introduced to Destiny 2 called the Vortex frame. So you launch a heavy spin attack. Heavy attacks are stronger with full energy, and attacks partially bypass elemental shields as well. Now, in terms of perks on this sword, it's actually identical to Temptation's hook. So we have Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade. I've got Tempered Edge, and also with an Impact Masterwork and a boss spec mod. So in terms of like for like, this is pretty much as close as we're going to get between these two legendary swords. So again, if we jump into the Lost Sector, again, we're going to repeat the same process as Temptation's hook. We can get 5 individual strikes to build up our Whirlwind Blade, and with this we can unleash our heavy attack as well, and this allows us to deliver a total of 167,840 in damage. Now, out of all the swords that we're looking at today, this actually takes the longest in order to deliver that damage. It takes 3.2 seconds to deliver all 5 individual light attacks and 1 heavy attack. And with that in mind, that provides a DPS of 52,450. So all in all, they all offer very different types of damage options and different damage per second as a result. Now, in terms of like for like swords, Temptation's hook and Black Talon are more alike than most, and as a result I would always choose the Black Talon over Temptation's hook, and that's just based on the numbers that we have today. In terms of which option you would choose over Fallen Guillotine and Black Talon, well, it really depends on your target, and we touched upon it a little bit earlier in the video. With the Black Talon, it's perfect for those ultras and mages, those targets that you can dispatch in very quick fashion with something like the Black Talon, especially if those are targets that like to fire first. Things like wizards and ogres can be a pain, but if you can use that damage to your advantage to boost your damage to take them out, then most definitely do that, and the Black Talon is probably the best one for the job. However, if you're thinking bigger targets like bosses, prime evils, and even heroic public event mages, then a team of Fallen Guillotines are going to make very short work of pretty much anything that you put in its way. So all in all, swords are definitely not a one and done job. There are better swords for specific jobs than others, and be sure to make sure you're making the most of those whenever you can. And finally, before we go, I just want to invite each and every one of you to our community Discord. We've got around 850 amazing guardians in there at the moment, and we're growing a great community and LFG as well. So if you're struggling for any raids to finish your moment of triumphs, be sure to hop in. It's available to everyone in the community, and you're all very welcome. The link to that is in the video description below. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel as well. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.